Okay, today I'm bringing you something different, guys. So I will be ranking every single Digimon games out there since I played them all. I figure it will be pretty cool to do today, and that's gonna be crazy. So hopefully you guys will enjoy, and let's just get straight to it. Okay, so here we are with the tier list, guys. So if you don't know how this works, well, we got S to D rank. So S means that the game is just so perfect. Like when you see that hot girls that you think that is just so beautiful and all, this is where it goes. And then we got the D rank for the games that are pretty bad and you don't want to play this, you just want to put it in the trash, you feel me? So that's how it goes. Now, this is gonna be exciting because I played all those Digimon games down here except for Digimon Survive, and the reason so is because the game haven't come out yet. I have no idea why they actually put it in here, but I guess it's here. So I guess we'll have to put it with what we've seen so far. And there's some games that I haven't played on my channel as well. If you're wondering, I haven't played Digital Card Battle, Digimon World Championship on here, and that's about the games I haven't played on my channel, but I did play them back in the days. I'm not going with your peak state if you're wondering, because certain games will have been more higher if we were talking back in 2000, but here we are in 2020, so I can't rank them by their years of how they were back then because it's not what it is now, you know what I'm saying? Going with how it is now. So yeah, hopefully you understand that, guys, and I'm hyped. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So the first game that I want to rank actually will be Digimon Racing. And the reason why I'm starting with Digimon Racing is because this game wasn't that great whatsoever. I mean, at the time I was really a big fan of Crash Bandicoot Racing and Mario Kart and like Sonic Racing as well. Like, those games were the GOAT, seriously. And now I'm not saying this because we're going the past, but I'm just saying that those games were better and they're still better to this day. Like, I'm still having more of a blast playing those games, and Digimon Racing is a game that I feel like not many people knows about and don't really want to play because, like I said, we got all those other great games. And I think that's what they were trying to do with Digimon Racing. I think they were trying to have like a competition against those games, because perhaps this game could have done super well and will have been like another crazy story if that was happening. Because if this game was doing really well in sales, trust me, there will have been more Digimon Racing games. But it definitely did pretty terrible, and I think it wasn't that great of a game either. Like, there's not much going on. I mean, you just do some racing, you can like Digivolve so you can use better skills, and you go a little faster depending on your racer, and then after a few racing you go against a boss to advance throughout the game, and that's about it. You know, it's not like that great. It's not a bad, like, it's a bad game, but like, it's still enjoyable in some ways. Like, if you just played it for the first time, you're probably gonna have a blast, but then after, you're gonna realize how not that great it is. So for this game, I will have to say that this goes right here on the D list for sure. Now, to the next one, I think we should go with Digimon All-Star Rumble. And the reason why I'm going with this game is because this game was such a disappointment for many Digimon fans. A lot of people had high hope for this game because Digimon Rumble Arena 1 and Rumble Arena 2 are like some pretty great games of Digimons. Like, a lot of people love them, and for nostalgia's sakes as well, like, we were so excited for it. And I was one as well. And they didn't even show in the trailer like Agumon 06, which I thought will be in this game, and it wasn't. So that was pretty sad about it. Now, the reason why I think this game is terrible is because there's a story mode, and pretty much it is the same thing with every single characters for the story mode. The only difference is the dialogue, the beginning and ending could have like another Digimon instead, and you could unlock a new ones. And it doesn't mean that you will unlock a new Digimon every single time you do it. And the crazy thing about it is it takes about an hour to complete, which is kind of crazy how long that takes, right? To do the same thing over and over. So it wasn't excited, and it didn't even add online modes. And I feel like if you do a fighting game, you have to have an online mode, and we're talking that this game was released for Xbox 360 and PS3 at the time. So it was kind of weird that they didn't add online modes, because I think the game could have been a little better if they did add online modes to this to make it more excited for the Digimon fans. And I would have loved to battle my friends, you guys, and all that stuff. I think that would have been great. You know, we could have done some challenges and some crazy thing, and they didn't have enough battle modes that were fun to play or anything. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they did have some cool Digimons, some crazy Digimons that I would have never expected to be in the Digimon game, so that was pretty cool for that. Other than that, the game sucks ball sacks, so it's going on the D list right here. Now let's start. Now let's go with Digimon Survive. So this game, in my opinion, was really great. This was a good comeback for Digimon. If you were a personal fan and you never heard of Digimon, you probably tried Digimon Story Sabislu, because this is pretty similar with that Digimon flow, you feel me? So that was really great for that, for sure. What I really enjoyed about this game is really the story mode was great. We had so many Digimon to choose, and the way that you get to the next form was really a great way for them. Like, this was totally different, and I just loved the way on how it was. The story, I had so many good times with it. I mean, we had the Roll Knights on our side, and some were enemies, and we had a new introduction to the Eater monsters, which was pretty crazy, and we had to investigate what was going on with that. And I really like all the animation that they put into the game, and especially the ending in this one was pretty crazy, was pretty sad. Like, the story overall was really great, and I don't have much bad stuff to say. If I were to say bad stuff about the game, will have to be the online battles. Like, a lot of people were expecting it to be really great, and seriously, it was pretty bad. Like, nobody plays the online battles nowadays, and that's the problem. I mean, to me, I would have loved to be more like a Pokemon online battles in some ways, because a lot of people love it, but for ShadowShakBusiness, no one is playing it. Like, that was such a disappointed for that. Post game in this one was really great as well. We had so much content, like fighting the Demon Lords was amazing. We had to fight Emperor Drama, and we had so many cool things, and plus we had DLCs that were great as well. So overall, this game had a lot of content that was really great, and yeah, I could say another bad thing is the replay value. This is not really the type of game for me personally, and I think a lot of people is that I don't feel like I will go back and just play the whole story, because it is pretty long as a game overall, and you can actually redo the game if you like with your Digimons that you currently have at the end of your playthrough in the new game plus. But at the same time, like, what's the point? You're just gonna destroy everyone, and it doesn't really change anything. Maybe they get a little stronger, but other than that, there's no point. But that's beside the point. This game will go on the S tier, because I really think this was a good comeback for Digimon, and I was great from there, you know. Let's go with Hacker's Memory now. I was really excited for this game, if I'm being honest here. I enjoyed the story, but overall the story wasn't like that great, because not much was going on like Sleuth. Like, Sleuth, that was just crazy and all. But this one, I really feel like the story wasn't that great in some ways. Like, I think it really started to get really good by the end of this, like when Arcademon start coming in, and just overall with that girl, that was really great, and Saint Udamon and all that stuff. Like, that was a really sad and amazing story from there. But other than that, I don't think the game was that great compared to ShadowShakBusiness. They did have more Digimon, which was pretty cool to see, more bosses. Felt like this game had way too many side missions before you could actually jump into like the main story, which I think that was one of the biggest issue about it, because I just wanted to do the story. Like, I didn't want to always do like 3 to 5 side quests to be able to do the next main quest, you know? Like, they were kind of like making us do so. Like, in ShadowShakBusiness, yes, you had to do it sometimes, but it wasn't as much as Hacker's Memory, and they did use some other stuff that we've seen in ShadowShakBusiness, like the Omegamon animation. They did use that again, and like, I felt like this game wasn't as good as the first one, because I felt like they weren't enough new content to make it more good. And even the post game was terrible. Like, we had nothing to do whatsoever, like maybe like 1 or 2 things. Like, what the heck, you know? And another thing that I didn't like about it is the domination battle. Like, I was so excited for this, and seriously, it was not that fun. And the online battles too was pretty terrible. A lot of people had high hopes for this, and I think they still failed on the online system. I really wish they succeed, but they really did not. So hopefully in the future Digimon games that have onlines, it could be hype, and like, so many people will love to just play it after they beat the game, of course. But man, for me, this game is definitely not an S tier. For now, I will put it on the A tier. I still don't know if I want to put it to the B tier, but I think it was still great to play. Like, if you never played it before, you still you will definitely have a good time. And the funny thing is, you don't have to play ShadowShakBusiness first. You can just start it with Hacker's Memory. Those 2 games are pretty much in the same timeline, and they kind of go at the same pace, so it doesn't matter which one you really play first. So that's a thing for sure, but I would still recommend to go for ShadowShakBusiness first. Now let's go with Digimon Adventure PSP games. Now, I played this game in translation, and you should totally do so. It's definitely worth it. This game is really great. It really represents Digimon Adventure, but in a Digimon game in such a good way. I mean, they even got like the Digimon movie inside this game, which is really crazy. They got a pretty good post game in which you can see many of the tamers from each season, which I thought they did such a great job. And they did a good job with the story as well to represent Digimon Adventure again, but in a game format. And what I really love is that you can actually have every single Digimons of your partner to Mega Farm. in this one rather than just the same way that they do in the Adventure series. So I thought that was really great for that. And the way that he plays, I think it's really great. Kind of plays similar to Sleuth in some ways, not exactly, but it kind of does. This game was released, you know, before that. It was released in 2013. I really think that game was really great. Like, if you're a big Digimon fan, you're definitely gonna love this game, you know? Like, I really wish they did more Digimon games like that, so I really think they did well for this. And I don't really have anything negative about it. Like, seriously, I just thought the game was really great. And to me, personally, I will go for S rank. But for now, I think overall, maybe this will maybe go to A rank, just because, you know, it's not like the craziest Digimon games. I don't know. For now, put it to A, but you might go up there, because I have a feeling that it deserves to be here with all the cool stuff that they did, because they did Digimon Adventure justice on this one. Now, let's go with Digimon Data Squad. Now, Digimon Data Squad, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best Digimon games out there, but I will have to say that it wasn't the worst Digimon games out there. Like, I think it was really fun for people that enjoyed the Digimon Data Squad as the show, and if they did, of course they will enjoy Digimon Data Squad. My problem with this game was really like the Digivolution system in this one. It was really crazy and long. Like, seriously, it really sucks how long it took to just get a crazy Digimon in this game, and many times you were just, you know, just doing your battles, and sometimes you will just digivolve into something you didn't even want to have because you didn't know that that was like the requirements. It was kind of annoying on that, but the biggest problem of this game was the loading time. Some of the battles were taking way too long, but seriously, the loading time in this game was so terrible. Was probably the biggest problem with this game, and the fact that we got so many encounters every single time, and some battles were taking like 10 minutes to complete for no goddamn reason, made the game so much worse as an experience. And I'm not gonna lie, man, Litman's voice in this, yo, what the heck was that? Seriously, I was so not amazed by it. He kept
come to the dark area and become a part of me.
kind of turned me off with Digimon in this game. I love Digimon, but in this one, dude, her voice kind of turned me down. I think the game could have been really short if it wasn't for all the encounters. So to me, this game will definitely go on the D list. Like, I'm not planning on coming back to this game, maybe for a video or something, but overall, man, this game deserves to be done here. Maybe C rank? No, actually, yeah, I think it deserves to be on the D list, okay? And they didn't even add burst mode to the game. What the heck, right? Anyways, now we'll have to go with Digimon World DS. Digimon World DS was one of the first games on the Nintendo DS, and I think the game was really great. I had such a blast playing it. Besides like all the encounters and how long it takes sometimes to get to certain location, I think the game overall was really great. I enjoyed the story. They introduced us with many new Digimons, which is always a good thing when they do so with Digimon games. I think it's a good way for us to get more excited when we play a new game. So I think this game really was great overall. I really actually enjoyed the online battles back then. When it came out, it was really great. You could actually unlock some crazy Digimons that were really cool to have as on your side. And I just think the game in general is definitely a pretty good Digimon games on Nintendo DS. I will not say that it goes on S rank, but I think this game deserves to be at least a A rank for sure. Now, while we're on this DS game stuff, we might as well go with Digimon World DS and Digimon Dusk. Those games were pretty good as well. I think the story was, oh well, alright. It wasn't like crazy. I just think what was awesome is that we got introduced to Lonomon and Coronomon, which those two had such amazing Digivolution line. I love them so much. The encounters was kind of terrible as well, because they kept having us, like, that was really the big issue about those games, that they had so much back and forth in the same map, in which you had to do so many encounters, and that was really the most annoying things. But also, what I didn't like about this game is really the encounters and the experience, and grinding in this game was terrible. Like, Digimon World DS wasn't as bad as those two. Like, I feel like those games were really terrible for grindings for certain Digimon. Like, some of them were a little too much of experience with like the certain class thing, like the beast, bird, and all that stuff, and that's why it made the game a little longer, like World DS, of course. So if I were to put those games in the list for now, I still think that they deserve to be on A list. It's such justice to those games. Like, they were so amazing, so it's really hard for me to rank them lower, and I think a lot of people love them. So overall, I really think those deserve to be here for now. Now for the next game, let's talk about Digimon World Next Order. To me, this game was the GOAT, man. Like, this game is such a good Digimon game. This came out after Sleuth, so when this game came out, I was hyped, I was hooked. I mean, we got to see Mameo once again make an appearance, which was the guy that was in Digimon World 1. So that was really crazy when I saw him in Next Order. I flipped out, man. But I think it was really great to see 2 Digimons on your side instead of 1, like in World and of course World Digitize. So I think this game was great. The story, I loved it. The fact that we had some new Omegamon introduced to us that were so crazy and amazing, that was great. The cinematics out there was amazing, mind-blowing. I mean, I could even say. This game is even better once you understand how this game works. Like, if you don't understand what's going on, you might have some issue with the game, but once you understand how it works, how to digivolve, how to do all that stuff, that's when the game gets so excited. And I really think this game did really good as well. Like, the fact that we had so many cool Digimons in there, many, like, we even had like Mekomon, which was really awesome to see, and Mecrackmon, because you know this was at the time when Digimon Tri was going on, and the fact that they actually added those 2 was amazing. I was really happy with that. And I think a lot of people were as well. Like, we didn't know much about those 2 at the time, so that's why I thought I was even crazier. The post game is pretty cool, and there's just so much content in this game. I mean, the DLC for Bubbletamon was amazing and hard as hell. That wasn't the easiest thing whatsoever, but I had a blast playing it. And I think this game now, when you think about it, over all the Digimon games, this game is definitely a S tier. Like, they did this game way too good, and it deserves to be on the spotlight on one of the best Digimon games out there. Next up, let's go with Digimon World 2. I think the game was alright. I'm not gonna go farther than that. I mean, once again, this game was pretty long to grind for Digimon, like really long. You had to do so much to be able to get certain Digimon as well. It was not easy, and it was a game that was pretty repetitive, in which means you're going to dungeon and you just crawl up. You just keep going up the floor, trying to get to the end, and then you fight a boss. I mean, I love those type of games, like with the Pokemon mystery games. I love that a lot, but this one, I felt like it wasn't that great, and I don't think this is a game you want to go back and replay because of how long it takes to grind for Digimons. That was one of the biggest issue. I think if they will have made this way easier for us to get the Digimon that we wanted, of course this game could have been much better. And I think over all the Digimon World game, this is probably the worst one of them all, sadly. So, I mean, actually, no. I think there's actually one that I think is worse than this one, but it's definitely down there for sure. So, if I were to put it, for now, I think, I mean, if I'm putting those games, I think it could maybe go for the C list. But like I said, I'm gonna have to revise it after later on to see what I can change and put up, maybe lower. You know what I mean? So, but that's just for now, guys. But I'm just telling you how I feel. Now, let's go with this one here. That is Digimon World Digitize. This is only for Japanese guys, but we did have an amazing translation for it, so that's why we can kind of rank it now. This game was pretty cool, like Digimon World Next Order. We had many cool things in this game that I really loved. The fact that we could go into our Colosseum and fight certain tamers from other season to unlock the potential of our Digimon to be able to go into that form. Like, you know, if you wanted to work Greymon, you had to fight Tai to get it. Also had X and T Body in the DS games, in the 3DS games, but they did have a few in the PSP games as well. And I really think this was a really great game for PSP, like Digimon Adventure. Like, those two games were pretty amazing. I don't think there's really anything bad to say about it. It's not as good as Next Order, because Next Order is pretty much like the, you know, the last one of the trilogy of the Digimon World games like that. They also got some songs from Digimon World 1, but remastered and remixed it. So I thought that was really great, like they did with Next Order, of course, as well. So I think that was pretty good. They did this game justice, and I really think this game could have done well also in the global instead of just Japan, for sure. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that, but like I said, we do have an amazing translation of it, and I think this game deserves to be at least on A tier for sure. Maybe not S tier because we got Next Order, but this one definitely deserves to be at least up there. That's for sure. Now let's go ahead and rank. Now it's actually gonna get a little harder. I guess we can rank Digimon World 4. Man, I remember when I first played this, I thought this game was really hard. but then I understood how the mechanism works in this game. That's when the game started to get better for me personally. I will have to say that the game is pretty good, but I know it's not A, maybe a, I know it's not A tier. It's definitely on one of those two right here, I will have to say, because the fact that Digimon had weapons now, I thought that was pretty cool, and the fact that the game was playable with 4 players was making the experience even better. Like, I really think this game is really good when you play with 4 players, or at least 2 players. You don't want to be alone like I did, but I really think I did play the game with 4 players in the past, and I think I had such a better experience. Like, you just want to, I don't know, I just feel like this is really a game for that. And I also had like Doraemon for the first time in the game, and it was really great to see him do his thing. And the Digivolution, man, were pretty crazy. Sadly, we could only unlock them, I believe, at the end of the game, which was kind of the downside about it. But it was pretty cool to unlock them because they were X-Antibody Digimons. And this game overall, I thought it was great. Like, maybe not that great, but it was great. For now, I will have to say C tier, not B tier. Okay, so let's go with the Battle Spirit franchise now. For the Battle Spirit games, I will have to say that those games are pretty good. They were better than also Rumble. For a Game Boy Advance game, I would have to say that they were pretty awesome to play. I mean, the goal was to pretty much hit the target. I mean, the opponent, you hit him, and then some little ball were coming out of him. It's kind of weird to say that, pause. So you can win the battle. So that was pretty much what it was about. And then at the end, you go against the boss, which is pretty cool to do. But I mean, it's always the same thing. So I can't say that the game is like super amazing. I mean, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I don't think it was terrible. Like, if I had to pick one of those two, Battle Spirit 2, I mean, it was with the Digimon Frontier Digimon, so I thought it was pretty awesome for that. But I think Battle Spirit, if I were to list it, I'll probably put it in here for now. And Battle Spirit 2, I don't know, man. It's because it was really the same, just with, you know, the Digimons from Frontier. And that's my issue with that. It's just, there weren't, like, too much a difference. So, for now, I think, I'll just put it here. I just put it to C tier because I don't really know for sure. Like, I feel like I want to put it here, but at the same time I kind of want to put it there. Now, let's go with Digimon World Championship. Digimon World Championship was, to me, a letdown. I was really excited for it, but man, this game was boring. Like, this was probably one of the most boring Digimon games I played, man. Like, I'm not such a big fan of like the VPET stuff to start this with. I love collectioning them, but playing them is not my cup of tea whatsoever. And if I were to go overall, I've seen a lot of stuff about it, and a lot of people are saying that it's boring. Like I said, like, I really think this game is boring. It's fun for the first like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. You have a blast, you know, you capture your Digimons, you tame them, and then you just let your Digimon do the jobs to battle other ones. You don't really do anything. You just let them you just watch them. You just train them for them to be ready to go into a championship, and that's about all you do. Like, there's nothing really crazy. And I still think that if you're a fan of Digimon, you're probably gonna enjoy more the VPET games than actually this one that is pretty much a VPET games into a Nintendo DS format, you know what I mean? So to me, I will have to put this game to the D list. Like, I think this is like one of the games that I never wanted to do also on my channel because I just thought it was so boring. And maybe I will just do like a one video on it or something just to show you how fun it is at first, but then you see that it's not that great. You know what I mean? Now we could actually go with Digital Card Battle. Digital Card Battle, to me, I never played it much. I was never into the Digimon card game, and I just think this game was never able to get to that level of crazy thing with the card stuff. And I did have cards when I was younger though, but I was never too much into it, and I think it was just more fun to collection in some ways. So yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you love the card games, of course you're gonna love it. Back then I was actually playing Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh game on PS1, which is pretty crazy, but I don't think it's a game that you just want to go back and play, right? But if you love the card game, of course this game probably will be a S tier for you. But to me, I don't think the game was that great overall. Like, for my experience, I can't put it on there. But for me personally, I will put it to the D tier. But for overall everyone, I don't know if they were to put it, maybe C tier for now. I actually love the animation when they were fighting, but it was pretty repetitive on that. And what was pretty cool is that we actually seen some of the character from O2, like we seen Davis, which was pretty cool. But I can't just put the game because, you know, Davis is somewhere. I need to put some games on B-list as well. Okay, you just have a few more games. I guess we can go with Digimon Survive. So for Digimon Survive, to me, I'm really excited for this game. I mean, it's been a while since we've been waiting for this, and that's my issue with it. It's because it's taking forever to come out, and I understand why, but at the same time, it's like, come on, just get it out already. I just want to play it. But from what I've seen so far, I think the game will do well. I don't think it will do as good as like Sleuth, because Sleuth is something else, right? But Survive, what I'm saying, a lot of people are actually really excited for this game. It's just, it's gonna be really like a game where there's a lot of dialogue, and depending on what you say and what you do will change everything for the story mode, like will change the way your story goes. So it's kind of crazy. I love the concept for this game so far. It just really needs to see how it's gonna go for when the game released. If the game is gonna be long, I'm hoping that the game won't be too long because there's many pathways, so I kind of want to be able to do them all without having to play the game for too long to get there. So we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. But I think the game, if they were like whatever release, like I said, we don't know. I think the game will definitely be an A-tier game when it released. But that's just me for now. Go with Digimon Rumble Arena. I think the game is really great. To me personally, I really loved it. I love playing it. It's really hard on hard mode, if you don't know, just so you know. To this day, I feel like this game is still really hard against Rippermon, but the thing about this game is that there's not much going on. I mean, it's like you have the Digimons from 01, I mean from Adventure 1 and Season 2, and also from Tamers, which I think some of the best Digimons are really all from there. So I think all the Digimon in this game were pretty cool to use, but the problem with the game is that it's about the same thing over and over. You know, we got mini games sometimes. You get some crazy encounters in which if you defeat, you can unlock them. But at the end of this, it's always going to be against Rippermon, which is a pretty hard boss. But that's pretty much what happened throughout the game. Is always the same thing over and over. But for Digimon fighting games, I really think this game was really great, and I think a lot of people love it. Maybe it's nostalgia, I really don't know. But for now, I think I'll put it C tier. I don't think it's a B tier. It's great, but not enough to be like B tier. Oh man, okay, this is actually getting crazy now. Okay, Digimon World 1. Oh my god. This is one of the best Digimon games out there personally, but with Next Order, I will have to say that Next Order is still better now. Digimon World 1 was so good. Like, I know many of my friends actually played this game on the PlayStation 1 when it was released, which is kind of crazy. Because, like, when I talk about Digimon with my friends, that's what they say. They say, like, yo, I remember playing these Digimon games on the PS1. And this is actually Digimon World 1. Back a few years back, actually. It was really great still to this day to me. But I really feel it's because of nostalgia that I love this game so much, seriously. But I definitely think that is a really good Digimon game. If we don't talk about the graphics, I just think it's pretty awesome. We got a nice story. You just go into your own adventure. And you go ahead and save some Digimon out there. And they join your city, and you know your city get bigger and bigger, which I think is pretty cool. So the story is great. There's no Mega Digimon. So if we're talking about now, I think this game now, I don't know if I'm just being selfish here, but I really think this game deserves to be at least B tier. Like, I really think this is a good Digimon game. Like, even if it's on PlayStation 1, it's a game that you gotta play back, and it's way better than World 2, World 4, or Rumble Arena, of course. Like, this is why I'm putting it on the B tier. Like, I really think this game deserves to be at least B tier. So now we only have 3 more games to put on. Digimon World 3 to me was really great. Of course, it's one of my favorite games, if I'm being honest here. I think that the problem that many people have with this game is really the encounters, because you have a lot of counters. I think if Digimon could have added like freaking like rebuilding like they do with Pokemon, where you don't have to get some encounters, the game would have been much better. And there were a lot of back and forth, which was really the downside about this game, because sometimes you were going super far into a map to just talk with one guy, right? And then you had to go all the way back, and you had so many encounters that just doing that back and forth thing could have taken like 1 hour and like 30 minutes. So that's kind of crazy, right? But if you remove that, it's pretty cool as a game overall. I still think to this day that this game is such a good Digimon games. Like, you have so many options for Digimon. You can actually get Vmon and many other cool Digimons. Like, even though you didn't choose like this partner Digimon on the first at the beginning of the game, you can still find a way to get it by defeating like a certain guy, like a certain, I don't know. The music in this game is amazing. I don't think there's even a bad song in this game if we're talking about soundtracks. Gameplay wise, I think it was a good way for us to have a new way of playing the game, a new way to play Digimon games, and they did it justice for that. I really love the fact that they were a gym where you can train your Digimon to get even stronger. You can equip equipments to your Digimons to make them even stronger. You even have DNA Digivolution in this game. Many cool Digimons on there. A lot of grinding, that's for sure. I really love the fact that there's many bosses in this game that when you fight them, you get really excited and nervous because it's just all crazy. Now, I'm really going from the top of my head, and I'm really trying hard to make this game somewhere good. But I really think this game is great. Like, the story was amazing, and I really love the animation actually of this game. So I think this game deserves to be at least. This is kind of hard. I really think this game deserves to be. You know what? I'll put it B for now. I think those two games are amazing. Maybe it's nostalgia. That's why I'm not putting them up there. Because to me, if I were to go personally, they will all go there. But no, I can't do that. Okay. Now we got Digimon Rumble Arena 2. For sequel, I think they did such a good justice. It was great. We had more Digivolution in this one. It wasn't as annoying as like Rumble Arena, because every time you Digivolve, it was like Digivolution, like every single time. So that was kind of annoying every time. But in this one, it's like you just click two things and you will Digivolve really quick. And I thought that was pretty awesome. And the game was great. I mean, this time it was with 4 Digimon instead of just 2. I mean, there were still some battles at 1v1, but they were more to it as well. A lot of things, and I think they did it justice for a sequel. So I think this is way better than the first installment. Now for the last one is Digimon Masters. Digimon Masters. Yes, I'm talking about this game. I will have to say that this game is not that great anymore. So if we're talking maybe a few years back, I'll probably put it a little higher. But now it's really a game that is supposed to be free, but it's more of a pay-to-win game. I actually made a video on why I don't play this game anymore if you're interested, and a lot of people actually agree with me. But what I'm trying to say here is that the game is really fun at first. I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast playing it because you just do the main quest. You don't really care about anything about how like the game works. You just have a blast with like the Digimon you get at the beginning, and you just keep, you know, going through every single mission to try to get stronger, and that's about it. But then once you're done with that, that's when you start to get really hard, because you definitely need some crazy Digimon, some Jogress Digimons that are really hard to obtain, because you need to get them from a box that have a Digimon with a really low rate. So it is definitely really hard to get the Digimons that you want. So I really don't think this game deserves to be anywhere on top. And it's just, now to me, man, if I'm being honest here, it's kind of weird to put it there, but to me this game deserves to be here because of all the changes that they did. It makes the game so bad. Like, it's hard for me to like put it higher. Like, if we're talking maybe like 2 to 3 years ago, I probably put it like right here. But for now, it's really a bad game, man. You don't want to play it, because trust me, if you get into the game, you hook with it, you're gonna have to put a lot of money into it. So if you're not rich, you should not play this game, because they're just gonna try to steal your money. Because what they've been doing a lot lately is that they always like release some new Digimons in which you have to pay to get them. You can't just get them from doing quests or anything like that, which if they did that, the game will have been much better. And they have some antibody Digimons in which if you like to get them, it makes it even harder, because you need to get them from a box with a low rate. So it's really like the lottery, okay? It's really gambling, and it's not cool, man. It's legal, and that's the problem. So that's why I'm putting this game down there, man. It don't deserve to be any higher than that. But now let me try to figure out if there's any other games that I like to maybe put higher or lower, and then I explain why I did that. So the only thing that I changed from this tier list is actually Battle Spirit 2, and the reason why I decided to put it down here is because Battle Spirit was really great, right? I mean, it wasn't the greatest games of all time, of course, but I think the reason why I'm putting it here is because it was pretty much the same thing from this one, except with Digimon from Digimon Frontier, and that's really the only thing that's changed, right? So I don't think you really deserve to be a C tier as well, because it's basically the same thing. So I was kind of hoping for maybe better stuff, and I think that's the issue with this game. But I still think it wasn't like the worst Digimon games out there, by the way. It's just, I think overall, I think it makes sense to put it on the deal list. And I really tried to change some other stuff, but I really think this is the way I see my tier for Digimon games. I really tried to make it different, but that's really what I came out with. Anyway guys, that's it for this tier list. So now let me know in the comment section below what is your tier list for Digimon games. I like to know your opinions, and let me know what is your thoughts on my tier list. Maybe some games could have been higher, maybe lower as well. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it, and I was kind of trying to go with the general opinions and also my opinions, of course. So it was kind of a mixing way of doing it. And yeah, like I said, this doesn't mean that certain games... Now, it doesn't mean that because those games, for example, like Digimon World 3 right here, that means to me personally, it means that I don't enjoy it as much as the other ones, you know what I mean? Like, for me, Digimon World 3 will probably go here because I just love it so much, but I can't just do that. Like, I'm not that stupid. Maybe I am. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe for more content. And yeah, guys, peace out and have an amazing Gucci day. You know it.